He's here, she whispered, lips curling like a snake. Either he stays, or I don't. Imagine your wife looking you dead in the eye, wearing the same dress she wore the night you proposed, and saying that. Not with guilt, not with regret, but with glee, like she just pulled off a prank at your funeral. The restaurant was filled with clinking forks, candlelight, and the hollow sound of my heart cracking. 15 years of marriage. A table for 2 booked weeks in advance. I had flowers flown in from the same damn florist we used on our wedding day. And then he walked in. Him. Auburn hair, smug Wall Street jawline, and the emotional range of a shark. Carter. Her older brother. The man who'd snaked his way into my company, promised me a deal, stole proprietary data, then testified against me in the lawsuit that cost me my company, my license, and my name. He shook off his coat like it was just another Thursday and extended a hand. Tyler. Long time. I didn't move. Just stared. Stared like I was watching a ghost dig up my grave. Angela, my wife, sighed dramatically, like I was embarrassing her. Can we not make this about you tonight? That was the moment something inside me snapped. She had invited him to our wedding anniversary. Behind my back. Told the waiter it was a party of 3. And the kicker? Told me in the car, 5 minutes before we walked in, that she might not come unless he did. I should have left right then. But I didn't. Maybe because I needed to see how deep the rabbit hole went. Or maybe I was still clinging to the idea that the woman I married wasn't a complete manipulative monster. So I sat. Not a word was spoken for the first 5 minutes. Carter ordered a $300 bottle of wine. She didn't flinch. I excused myself to the restroom and just stared at my reflection, knuckles white against the sink. I was halfway through rehearsing what I should say when I saw the text. Angela had left her phone on the table. It lit up. He still doesn't suspect anything, smirking face. The message was from a name I didn't recognize. T. Another message came in seconds later. Can't wait to see you after. Want you in that black set again, fire. My blood turned cold. My ears started ringing. I pushed open the restroom door and saw them both laughing, her and Carter, as if I didn't exist. I took the long way around the table, just to see the screen for myself. Still open. Still glowing. Still mocking me. She looked up, caught my stare, then, without missing a beat, snatched the phone and said, "You really need to stop reading into things." Into things? Into things? She had just invited the man who wrecked my life to dinner and was texting some guy named T about lingerie while I was paying for the wine. I didn't explode. I didn't scream. I smiled. Because this wasn't just betrayal. This was war. And I was done playing defense. I leaned back in my chair, my smile calm, my heart anything but. Angela poured herself another glass of wine, like nothing had happened, like we were just 3 old friends catching up. Carter made some half-assed comment about the food, but I didn't hear it. All I could think about was that message. He still doesn't suspect anything. I watched her. The way she batted her lashes, the way her laugh was half a performance, the way she tucked her phone away so delicately, like it hadn't just detonated the last ounce of trust one had left in her. I picked up my fork and started cutting into the steak I couldn't taste. She took that as a signal that everything was fine, that I'd bought her lie. Again. "You're being weird," she said casually, sipping the wine. "Are we gonna talk, or are you just gonna sulk all night?" I kept my voice low. "Who's T?" Her hand froze midair. A second too long. Then she snorted, like I'd asked her who invented string cheese. "You're paranoid. Answer the question." "It's Tracy," she said, smiling as if that explained it. "My coworker." I leaned forward. "Your coworker wants you in the black set?" Carter looked away, suddenly finding interest in his plate. Angela's eyes narrowed. "You were snooping through my phone? You left it on the table." "I knew it," she hissed, setting her glass down hard enough to rattle the silverware. "You always do this. You always twist things, make it about you. You can't just let things go. You think everyone's out to get you because of your failures." That last word slapped harder than anything she'd ever said. I kept my voice even. "He destroyed my company." She rolled her eyes. "You destroyed your company." Carter just saw it coming first. I stared at her, wondering who this woman really was. Wondering how I had slept next to this stranger for 15 years. She wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. Not the betrayal. Not the contempt. Not even the lust for someone else. I looked at Carter. "You knew?" He shifted uncomfortably. "Look, man, I didn't come here to cause problems. Angela said you were okay with." "With what?" I interrupted. "Sharing her." Angela scoffed. Oh, please. Like you've been some kind of saint. I blinked. What the hell does that mean? She stood up suddenly. I'm not doing this. I'm not sitting here while you play the victim. You lost your job, your name, and your balls in 1 year, and you expect me to throw you a pity party every anniversary. I stayed seated. I didn't even flinch. She leaned over the table, face inches from mine. I wanted a man. You turned into a shadow. So yeah, maybe I looked elsewhere. Can you blame me? I could feel people watching now. The room had gotten quieter. She didn't care. I stood up, slow, deliberate, took out my wallet, peeled off 5 crisp hundreds, and dropped them on the table. Then I turned to Carter. You two deserve each other. And I walked out. The cold hit me like a wave. My hands were shaking, my breath uneven, but I didn't stop. I didn't look back. I didn't even blink. Because everything I needed to know was already written in her eyes. And that night, that was just the beginning. I didn't go home. I drove until the city lights vanished in my rearview. Until my phone battery died from all the missed calls and texts. Until the weight in my chest settled into something darker, something heavier than anger. Something permanent. I parked at a gas station an hour out, just sat in the driver's seat watching a flickering street lamp buzz above the pumps. My fingers clenched the steering wheel like it was the only thing holding me together. 15 years. 15 damn years I gave her. And she chose him. Not just any man. The one who watched me burn and handed her the matches. Around 2 a.m., I went through the messages again. I charged my phone in the car, unlocked it, opened our shared cloud account. She had no idea I still had access. I scrolled through her backups. Texts, photos, even voice memos. One file stood out. From 2 weeks ago. I tapped it. Her voice. Whispering. Laughing. You better not tell him, T. He still thinks I'm planning the anniversary alone. God, it's pathetic. You should have seen his face when I said I wanted something intimate. Pause. Then she said it. I swear, if I have to listen to one more story about how the lawsuit ruined his life, I'm gonna scream. He let his life fall apart. And now I'm supposed to feel bad forever? No thanks. I need a man with a plan, not a pity project. Click. I sat there, phone in my lap, ears ringing. I had loved that voice. Memorized it. Woke up to it. Fell asleep to it. And now it sounded like poison. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just emptied out. My entire life had been this lie dressed in wedding white. And the worst part? I didn't even see it happening. She'd been rewriting the story while I was still stuck in chapter 1. I drove back at sunrise. Not home. To my friend Nate's place. He opened the door, groggy, confused. Tyler? Dude, what the hell? I need to crash here. Just for a few days. He saw something in my eyes. He didn't ask questions. Just stepped aside. I didn't sleep. I just lay there on the couch staring at the ceiling while my mind replayed every conversation I'd ignored, every red flag I'd explained away, every little laugh she shared with him behind my back. Morning came. I went to a lawyer. Didn't say much. Just handed over the facts. Showed the messages. The voice recording. Gave my side. Then I texted her. One line. Lawyer will contact you. Do not call me again. She called anyway. 23 times. Then the texts changed tone. We need to talk. Tyler, don't do anything stupid. I didn't mean it like that, okay? Are you really throwing everything away over one night? It didn't mean anything. You're being dramatic. That one almost made me laugh. Dramatic. Like I'd tripped over a coffee table and spilled my marriage on the floor. Then finally, you'll regret this. No, I wouldn't. I already regretted staying this long. She showed up 2 days later. I heard the knock while Nate was out grabbing groceries. I knew it was her before I even looked through the peephole. Only she would knock like she owned the place, like she expected the door to open just because she was on the other side. I opened it a crack. She tried to push her way in. Don't, I said, holding the door steady. Seriously, she scoffed. You're hiding at Nate's like a little boy? Grow up, Tyler. I stared at her. Hair perfect. Lip gloss like nothing had happened. She came dressed like she was going to brunch with a friend, not begging her husband not to leave her. You brought Carter to our anniversary, I said. You lied about it. You texted another man while I was in the bathroom, then called me pathetic 5 minutes later. She rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. Again, you invited the man who destroyed everything I built, and told me if he didn't come, you wouldn't show up. What kind of wife does that? Her eyes flashed. The kind who's sick of babysitting a man stuck in 2018. Do you even hear yourself? You haven't moved on from your precious company. You think your pain gives you the right to drag me through it every single day. I said nothing. Let her words hang in the air like smoke. You used to be someone, Tyler, she continued. Now, you're just a shell waiting for someone to feel sorry for you. You used to love me, I said quietly. She laughed. I used to believe in you. That's not the same thing. Then her voice softened, the way it always did when she wanted something. Look, I messed up. I know that. I panicked. I wanted to feel important again. Desired. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I raised an eyebrow. You mean the messages? The late nights? The lies? Or bringing your brother, who testified against me, to our anniversary? Her lips parted, then closed again. I waited. She had nothing. So I stepped outside, shut the door behind me, and leaned in close. You're not sorry. You're scared. Her mouth twitched. You thought I'd keep crawling back. You thought I'd beg. Maybe even thank you for tolerating me. But you made one mistake. Oh yeah, she said. What's that? You underestimated how quiet I get when I'm done. She blinked, and for a second, I saw it. Fear. Not of me, but of losing control. Of realizing I was no longer under her thumb. You'll regret this, she whispered again, venom behind the words. I leaned in closer. No, you will. And then I walked past her. Didn't look back. Not this time. I spent the next week in silence. No music. No calls. Just the rhythm of rebuilding what she tried to crush. I found a small apartment downtown. Nothing fancy, but clean, with bare walls and honest echoes. I liked the silence. It felt like truth. I boxed up everything I had left at the house. Nate came with me. Angela wasn't home. Or maybe she was hiding behind a curtain, watching me through the slits, waiting for a scene. She didn't get one. I packed methodically, books, clothes, an old photo album I almost left behind. Almost. But I took it. That night, I opened it on the floor of my new place. Our wedding photos. Her smile back then was different, less sharp, more human. I don't know when it changed. Maybe I ignored it. Maybe it changed before the wedding, and I just refused to see it. I flipped the page. There was one picture I hadn't seen in years. We were dancing under fairy lights. She was laughing, eyes closed, head against my chest. I stared at it for a long time. Then I ripped it out and burned it in the sink. The divorce papers came back faster than I expected. She tried to contest the terms. Claimed she was owed more. That she gave up years of her life for me. That she deserved compensation. I sent her lawyer the recordings. Silence. She didn't show up at the next meeting. Her lawyer came alone. Red-faced. Embarrassed. We settled that day. A week after that, I got a message. Not from her. From T. I almost ignored it. But curiosity got the better of me. Didn't know she was married. Sorry, man. She said you were separated. I laughed out loud for the first time in a month. Of course she did. Don't worry, I replied. You're not the first thing she lied about. He didn't respond. Good. I started running again. Every morning, before sunrise. I ran until my lungs burned, until the memories blurred behind the rhythm of my feet. Nate joined me sometimes. Sometimes not. Either way, it helped. One morning, after a long run, I sat on a bench near the pier. The sun was just rising, casting gold over the water. I watched the waves. Let myself feel it. All of it. The loss. The betrayal. The shame. The strange, twisted freedom. Angela had destroyed the image I had of my life. But in the ashes, I found something she never gave me. Peace. 3 months passed. I stopped checking her social media. Stopped rereading old messages. Stopped wondering who she was with or if she missed me. The truth was, I didn't care anymore. And maybe that was the real closure. Not some dramatic apology or final confrontation. Just waking up one day and realizing I felt nothing. I poured myself into work. Started freelancing, consulting, small companies at first, then bigger ones. My name, the one she said I'd never recover, started circulating again. Clients didn't care about my past, only results. And I delivered. One afternoon, I got a call from a startup founder who wanted me as a partner. He had no idea who I was 6 months ago, and he didn't care. He liked my pitch, my vision. Said I sounded like a man who'd been through fire and walked out sharper. He was right. We signed the paperwork the same day. Later that night, I opened a bottle of whiskey I'd been saving. Sat on the balcony, watched the city hum below me. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a man clawing his way out of a grave. I felt like someone who had nothing left to prove. Then I got another message. Angela. No name, no picture, Just a number I recognized instantly. I stared at it for a long time before opening. Saw the news. Congrats on the new company. Proud of you. No apology. No explanation. Just a gentle little hook, meant to remind me she was still there. Still watching. Still trying to be part of the story. I didn't respond. 3 days later, another message. I miss talking to you. Then, I made a mistake. T was nothing. He ghosted me 2 weeks later. You were the only one who ever truly saw me. Saw her? Yeah, I saw her now. Saw her clearly. The manipulation, the gaslighting, the lies she twisted into love. I thought about replying. Thought about all the things I could say, the venom I could spit back. But I didn't. Because silence, now, was power. So I blocked the number. Not out of anger. Out of peace. And then I poured myself another glass, leaned back in my chair, and smiled.